Diola says that a shift up the ladder in organizational hierarchy. Okay. Adetutu, I would need your help with muting people when they join in. Please take it seriously. Help my career, please. Olufemi Bitoye, my guy, says career advancement is moving up from proficiency level to the next within the context of the career. I can guess that Olufemi is in my proficiency group, and I know where it's coming from and where it's going to. Daniel Emmanuel says to
What's up?
In case you're unable to mute someone,
I'm unable to mute Chibuzo.
You remove her, please. You have my authorization. Once you can mute the person, as part of career advancement, you remove the person. Okay?
All right, noted.
Thank you. Okay, so Adetutu says moving higher in your career. Adetutu, with all your collaboration, that was what you came up with. Okay. Oluwafemi Belli says career advancement is moving forward in one's career. Ogo is making fun of me. I said help my career. Okay, good. All right. So thank you once again and welcome to this class. My flagship for this program is HR Proficient 1. I have their pictures. You can see them. If you look at these people's pictures, your career will take what? A quantum leap. I hope all of them find time to join this call. So somebody should also, on your various groups, just send a reminder that the meeting has started. Okay, tell them that their career has started. They should queue into it, okay? They should join in. Now, next, look at this symbols or logo. What comes to mind in the chat box again? When you are looking at this symbol that you see on the screen, what comes to your mind? Chat. Don't try to be too technical. Don't process it. What just comes to your mind? Just type it. Okay, I can see one of my mentors in the house. Wale Maikaya, you are welcome. Feel free to join the conversation at any point. You can just pause me and contribute. Wale Maikaya is one of the leaders, is a leader of Mentorship 3, if I'm not mistaken. I've had the privilege of knowing him for like 15 years. He's one of the people who has been giving my career a push. Good. Just what comes to your mind, any of these symbols, don't process it, don't analyze it. Francisca Ojimba, I see you. Gloria Energy, good evening. I see you. Pastor Taiwo Afinowu is my governor in the mentorship group. I recognize you, sir. Thank you for joining. Feel free if you have anything to say at any point in time. It's an open house session. Thank you for coming. Okay, so people have started dropping their comments. Please don't be missing in action, okay? Participate, engage. Please put off your TV if you have not and focus on this thing. All right, so somebody says, I see brand. Good. Someone says, it is Apple. Wow. That person will be very close to Eve. The person saw Apple, sharp. Somebody said notable brands. Somebody said Apple and Volvo logo. Someone says the brand Apple and Volvo. Adedoyin says outstanding brands. Okay. I'm looking for something different. So I won't read what you say if you repeat what has been said. So who can say something else? You can say something again, even if you have spoken earlier. Think again. Make sure, look at the chat group box. Don't drop what has been dropped. What comes to your mind? What's that sharp thing that is coming to your mind? Okay, look beyond Apple, the name. Look beyond that. So somebody is saying phones and computers. Somebody is saying cars and truck. Oh, Samuel, chop knuckle. Samuel is close to it. Let me give you a hint. Samuel is close to it. Oh, Daniel is even closer. Wow. This class is phenomenal. So let me read what Samuel says here. Samuel Okijiola says, niche creation, niche. Anna says product. Okay. Now let me go to Daniel. Daniel is super close to it. Status and class. Wow. Status and class. Okay. So let me also add one or two things to this, to what I've said so far. I see quality. I see quality. Okay. When I look at Volvo, I see safety. I see safety. So the question is, when people look at Mary, when people look at Gloria, when people look at Rachel, when people look at Oluyemi, what do they see? What do they see? Okay. When people look at Emmanuel, when people look at Francisca, when people look at Kemsey, Elizabeth, what do they see? That is a key question. What comes to mind when my CV gets to a table? What comes to mind when a recruiter sees my LinkedIn profile? What comes to mind when I submit an assignment to my line manager? What comes to mind? What comes to mind? Okay, what comes to mind? Now let's look at a few statistics as we progress. Okay, the training is in full gear already. We are in full gear. Now, according to monster.com, okay, they are a notable platform when it comes to career and jobs. According to Monster, 26% of employees are what? Confident in their job security. Then what happens to the other 74%? They are not confident. Which divide are you? Which divide are you? 54% are currently looking for their next job. In other words, only 46% wants to stay put, either in the organization or in the role where they are right now. Which divide are you? Okay. 90% of those who are polled, who participated in this survey, have considered making a career change in the last year. In other words, in the last 365 days, 1 year, 90% of the people who participated in this poll thought about a career change. So today's workplace is what? Filled with layoffs and cutbacks. In fact, COVID even compounded it, okay? So you need to take an active role in your professional development. You need to take an active role in your professional development. Now, this slide I am on now, I remember I and my friend and brother, Wale Maikaya, who is on this call, who developed this particular slide together. I'm sure he will be smiling if he's looking at the screen right now. We had a program that we put this together, this particular set of artifacts. Okay. Now, the first thing is that there is dignity in what you do. It doesn't matter whether you are self-employed, an entrepreneur, or you are an employee. It doesn't matter. Some people are employees. They are trying to like, oh, I must be an entrepreneur. There's nothing bad in transiting. There's nothing bad in planning your transition. I've also seen people who are entrepreneurs who became employees. There's nothing bad in it, okay? And I also know quite a number of people who combine the two. On one hand, they are employees serving an organization. On the other hand, they are also what? Running what we call side hustle, okay? Now, is your CV or your organizational profile, your company, your business profile, is it a true reflection of your capability? Is it a true reflection of your capacity? Does it showcase the results and accomplishments in your career? Okay, does it reflect your potential? Recently, I was talking to two of my colleagues at work. So I was looking at some restructuring in my small team. So I asked for their CV. And when the two of them sent their CV, one of them in particular, I just worked with that person for about 18 months. I had to call the person on phone. I mentioned like 5 things that she could do that I couldn't see on her CV. I was shocked. Of course, what that tells me is that that is the way the average person is. And one of the reasons why that person's CV is like that is the person is not actively looking for a job. But your CV must be what? A living document. Your LinkedIn profile must be a living document. The third fact, are your skills current? Can a robot or software do your job? We are talking about career advancement. That's why we are asking these hard questions. Think very well. Whatever you do today, can artificial intelligence easily take off your job? Let me ask you, where you work today and what you do where you work, if they say, let us outsource roles, will your job fall into top 3 jobs they will outsource? What is the competitiveness of your job role? Now, let me quickly define competitiveness of job role here. I know it's not everybody here that is an HR professional. So, back in the days, about 10 years ago, I used to work in an organization. In that organization, we had 43 unique job roles. Now, even though there was no vacancy, I placed an advert proactively because I was handling recruitment. I advertised all the 43 roles. After about 2 weeks, I discovered my most competitive role. And I also discovered my least competitive role. Back then, in that particular organization, when I advertised my job as HR manager, over 600 people wanted to take my job. Men and brethren, ladies and gentlemen, I say over 600 people applied for my job. Now, let me make you laugh. We had a job role that is graphic artist or creative artist. Only 3 people applied for that job. So that quickly told me that the person I must protect the most in that organization is my graphic artist. And guess what? 1 year down the line, when he wanted to leave, we had to match his salary. I had data to convince my management. Why? It was very competitive. What am I saying? The job you do today, is it a job 2,000 people can do or want to do? Is it a job 2,000 people can do or want to do? Thank you so much, bro. Wale was confirming what I just shared now. Okay? Now, how easy is it to replace you? How easy? If you go on leave, we didn't know. We are still talking about career advancement, though. Put this in mind, though. When last did you go for a self-sponsored training or even study online? I credit you, at least you're on this course right now. When some people are clubbing, unwinding, saying, oh, I've worked hard all week. Well, if I ask, which book are you reading now around your career or your profession? I know this is a church program. I'm not asking you about reading the Bible. Let me assume, because I'm not too sure everybody also does that regularly. But let me assume, what book? So if you're an HR professional, when was the last time you picked an HR textbook? Anyone? If you are a marketer, when was the last time you picked a marketing textbook, whether for free or you bought it with your money? Okay. Now, how do you decide your career move? How? And that question ties to the last bullet point on the slide. Are you pay-led or God-led? If somebody adds 50,000 or 10,000 or 100,000, will you just, without blinking, just say, God has opened the door? Do you have a good LinkedIn profile? Are you visible? Are you a team player? Do you have complementary skills and competencies? My last question, my last hard fact, and this is something I see a lot, which is, have you outsourced your career growth, your career advancement, your career development? Have you outsourced it to your line manager or your management or your HR? I know people, if you say, why have they not been promoted in the last 2-3 years? The reason is their HR. The reason is their management. Okay? So the question is, are you the one managing your career, or it is your HR manager that is managing it? Or is it your line manager that is managing it? Okay? These are very valuable questions. Now, look at this. This is about 1 or 2 years old now. I saw this in a newspaper and I took the picture. I found it very, very fascinating. It says that Nigeria faces talent crisis. Look at this, look at this. Nigeria faces talent crisis. Now, World Economic Forum is a notable association, okay, of industry and governance experts globally. And they were able to identify that Nigeria is facing a talent crisis. So let's go back to the chat box. Please, what is the difference between talent and labor in your own words? Please put it in the chat box quickly, everybody. What is the difference between talent and labor? And is talent and labor, is it the same thing? Because we note they didn't say Nigeria faces labor crisis. They said Nigeria faces talent crisis. When we started today's conversation, I showed you two logos, one of Apple, the other of Volvo, and we were sharing our thoughts about it. We were sharing our thoughts. I hope we can cascade that thought even as we discuss about talent. Don't forget that we are talking about career advancement. And they say Nigeria faces talent crisis. Okay, Daniel says there's a huge difference. So, Oluyemi Emmanuel says talent is skill while labor is the manpower.
Yes.
Oluyemi, that is deep. So we're almost saying one is software, the other is hardware. If I can connect well with Oluyemi, okay, Adedoyin says talent has to do with knowledge, skills, and ability, while labor is just manpower. In other words, labor is Ishon, just okay, fantastic. Samuel says talent is more refined skill that gives leverage. God bless you, Samuel. God bless you, Samuel. Abiodun says talent is like skill. Labor is like workforce. Now, fantastic. Samuel again says talent is technical ability while labor is manpower. Yes, in a way you need the two, because if you don't have labor, what are you going to do? Now, Bro Wale Maikaya has dropped some interesting statistics for us, and he pulled it from StatiSense, okay? Nigerians that are willing and able to work. He has provided data from the year 2010 to 2020. That is 10 years. And the data grew from 65.17 million to what? 80.29 million. But let me put this to you, men and brethren. These statistics that has just been shared for us is what? Is labor, not talent. Benga Daniel again says, labor is of unskilled value, while talent is a given ability to possess the unforeseen unseen potential. Fantastic. So when it comes to career advancement, cardinal feedback to every participant on this call, including myself, you must make sure that you, one, transit from manpower to what? To talent. Transit from labor to talent. That's the first instruction. The second instruction, if you will, is that let's assume that you are already talent, because I'm aware that quite a number of persons on this call, if perhaps not everybody, is already talent. Talent self get level. There are different levels of what? Proficiency. So for you to experience career advancement, you must, of a necessity, also appreciate in the competency mapping in the talent framework. Are we together? Are we getting something? Now, let's look at some definitions quickly. For those of us who know me, you know that I like going to the fundamentals no matter who I'm talking to. Even though I know that HR professionals are on this call, let's look at these various definitions. Let me quickly check the chat group box. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Somebody dropped a message that there is a book that talent is overrated. Yes. I've read that book. Very great book. Very great book. Please, let's continue to be engaging on the chat box. Don't be angry in case I don't read out what to say. We will all read it. What I will also do is I will extract the entire chat and share it across all the groups. So the chat will also form like a feedback for people who may not be able to join this call, even though we also available. There's a Moko, you are welcome. Kindly mute your mic. Okay, so let's look at the definitions. There are 4 definitions here. 1, an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life and with what? Opportunities for progress. 2, a career is an individual's journey through learning, work, and other aspects of life. Let's spend like 30 seconds on this point too. Please pay attention to this definition too. Look at it. A career is an individual's journey through what? Learning, work, and what? Other aspects of life. That shows that every single thing you are doing is shaping, making or marring what? Your career. Are we together? I know 1 or 2 people, when they left the university, they say they will never open another book again in their life. What are they doing? They are limiting their career. Okay? Because everything is intertwined. In fact, let me shock you. Where you live is affecting your career, your estate. So if you live in Bagada phase 1 and you live in Bariga phase 1, those 2 areas have an impact on your career, believe it or not. The impact may be subtle. But if you live in Bariga for 20 years and you live in Bagada for 20 years, there will have been some differences in your career, believe it or not. The 3rd point here says, career is a person's course or progress through life. In other words, Oxford English Dictionary is even expecting that by definition, you should be making progress. Lastly, but not the least, career is used to describe an occupation or a profession that usually involves special training or formal education. I put it to you, what you are doing right now, do you require special training? Did you acquire special training to get it? Are you currently or anytime from now about to get additional special training? Did you get any formal education? Is there a certification around it? Are you about to get some certifications around it? Now, you will see that I picked all this information from definitions, and the fundamentals are what? Are always right. Fundamentals are always right. So if you check it, I don't know, do you have any lawyer in the house? Any lawyer? If you're a lawyer in the house, please indicate. You know, lawyers say they call themselves what? Who knows what they call lawyers? Even if there is no lawyer in the house, but I'll be surprised that in 63 people, there will be no lawyer. Please, what do they call lawyers? Or what do lawyers call themselves? The men of the sick. There is one sentence that they use. Anybody.
My learned colleague.
The learned colleague,
colleague,
right?
Fantastic. God bless
Learned
you,
colleague.
They call themselves learned colleague. In other words, to be in that profession, you must have read. 2, you must be reading. 3, you will read. Let me shock you. Well, it may not be a shock to some of us here. Do you know that when they want to make any lawyer senior advocate of Nigeria, part of the requirement is that they come and inspect your library. So if your library is not of a certain minimum size, sir, ma, forget senior advocate of the masses. Let me turn the question now, because some of you like gist. In your own career that you are chasing, do you have a robust library for that career? It takes a library to become a senior advocate of Nigeria. Okay? So I hope we will all see each other as learned colleagues. Am I making sense? Am I adding value? And let me also state at this juncture that it's not too early to ask questions. So if you want, you can drop a question in the chat box. I will take it, okay? Or any of the participants on this call can also take it. So if someone drops a question, you can either respond to the question in the chat box, or if you want to speak, let me know. Now, because of the HR people on this call, I want to use a technique some of them may or may not be aware of. but they should be aware of it so that will be a takeaway. Don't worry, for non-HR persons, there's nothing technical here. So there's a body called HAY. Okay, they are like a consulting firm, and they specialize in career management, compensation management, and the likes. Please pay attention to this, my story, please. And look at your phone, look at your laptop, look at your tablet, whatever device you are joining. I hope the screen is not broken. Okay, look at it right now. There are 3 key areas when you do what? Job analysis. Now, don't forget that in your profession, in your career, part of the things that constitute your career and your profession is the jobs and the assignments and the tasks, the roles you occupy. So all of us, we today have a designation or the other. You may be a manager, you may be head, you may be chief, you may be an officer, you may be a supervisor. It doesn't matter. But whatever you are, whether you are the GM or the GM, general manager or gatesman or in between, there are 3 key areas. One is called know-how. I'm sure you must have heard it. They say, oh, the technical know-how, professional know-how. Now, what is know-how? Know-how is what is necessary to do the job. Just write that down in case you are taking notes. Okay, know-how, very critical. When we are talking about career advancement, know-how is very important. The second thing here is what? Problem solving. Problem solving. And what is this about? How complex are the problems to be solved? Now, let me say this. If somebody comes to you and say, your problems will become bigger, please, in the chat box, what will you typically say? Drop it in the chat box quickly. Somebody just sees you on the road or at the shopping mall and just looks at you and say, your problems will become bigger. Please, write the first thoughts. Put it in the chat box, please. Thank you so much. You see, one of the things I like about the people on this call is that they are very honest. All the 65 people on this call, integrity is their watchword. I will read all the unique answers I have. If I don't read your own, please don't be angry with me. But I promise, I'll quickly read all the unique answers. Odoayo says, God forbid. Ifeanyi, oh Lord. Ifeanyi says, Holy Ghost, fire. Olayinka says, run for your life. Oluwafunsho says, God forbid. Abiodun says, I reject it. Okay. Oh, Adetutu, you are my sister indeed. Adetutu said, back to sender. Samuel says, I rebuke the devil. Let me see if I'll see any other unique. Oh God, Adeola, you are too much. He puts in Jesus' name behind, I reject it. Okay, thank you so much. I find that, Ese, God bless you, my sister. She said, I reject it by fire. So they says, what is your problem now? Fantastic. Oh, Felicia even spoke Igbo. Mbakwa. Fantastic. So because of time, let me come back to the conversation, even though that was part of the conversation. You see, the truth is, anytime you are praying for career advancement, you are praying for bigger problems. I will say it again. Not for lack of what to say. Not because I want to mark time. I say, anytime you are praying, desirous, studying, developing competencies for what? Career advancement, you are preparing yourself for bigger problems. I put it to you, men and brethren. When anybody tells you that you will have bigger problems, say amen. Bigger problem is what? Bigger reward. Is what? Bigger opportunities. Is what? Bigger compensation. Is what? Bigger complexities. Don't forget, we are looking at 3 core areas of a job analysis. 1, know-how. 2, problem solving. So if you manage a 6-man team and somebody is managing a 12-man team, all things being equal, if it is in the same kind of organization, should you be earning the same? The third point here quickly is what? Accountability. What did I say? Accountability. So 3 key things: know-how, problem solving, and accountability. What is accountability? I remember my brother who is on this call, Bro Wale, my guy, I thought me, I've forgotten that thing, but he said, who is accountable? Bro Wale, are you there? Do you still, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot. Do you still remember that thing? Who is accountable? Who is responsible? There are 2 other points he used to teach me then. Bro Wale, you can talk in case you, yes, RACI. So please help me write the acronym. R is who is responsible. A is who is accountable. If you remember the C and the I, help me drop it. Okay, now, when we talk about accountability, okay, it means what end result must the job achieve? So your current job in your organization, in your office, if you make a mistake, what will be the gravity of the mistake? If you do something well, what will be the gravity of that something well? Thank you, sir. So RACI matrix talks about responsible, accountable, who should be consulted, and who should be informed. So it's like a management term or acronym, or a project management acronym, or a risk management acronym. You know, so in your organization, some people you just need to inform them. Some people you need to consult them. Some people are the risk owners, the process owners. So let me round up on this page here. Know-how, problem solving, accountability. So let me give an example. If you are the HR manager of a microfinance bank and you have 30 staff and you get the opportunity to get a job where maybe it's also a microfinance bank, but there are 200 staff and it's the same salary, what should you do? Let me ask the question again. Please, I need you guys to respond on the chat group. Currently, this is an hypothetical scenario. Currently, you are the HR manager. You are earning 200,000 naira per month. Your staff strength is 30. You now got another job. The staff strength is 200, but the salary is the same 200,000 naira. Based on these 3 key areas I've taught you now, what should you do? Put it in the chat box. All things being equal, let's somebody can say which house is closer. Let's say it's the same distance to your house. Somewhere you will move to the other organization with 200 people. Don't forget, it's the same salary. In other words, more wahala, more problem. Somewhere, let me speak to you. Drop in the chat box. Why would you move on? Why would you move on, please? I may be more interested in your why than in your choice. Why would you move on? If anybody will move on, drop it in the chat book. Say, I will move on because of so. If you will not move on, it's also not bad. Say, I will not move on because of so. We're talking about career development. Career development is what? Serious business. You are currently in an organization, 30 employees, 200,000 naira per month. You get another organization, the same 200,000 naira per month, 200 employees. Would you move on or will you stay put? There is no financial incentive here. Okay, let me quickly take some of the feedback. God bless you. Thank you everyone for dropping this feedback. I appreciate you. I hope you are gaining 1 or 2 things. Because anytime I teach and any of my colleagues teach, what we try to do is we try to use concepts so that our mind can open. Okay, so August says the other organizations present more in terms of accomplishments and will make you more desirable to future employers. God bless you all. In other words, because I will have more problems in that organization, I will take it. Because your know-how will probably be what? Tested. You may need to develop more because your accountability for 200 people is not the same as accountability for 30 people. I hope we are picking something. Let me see what Yem is saying. Yem says, Yem, are you related to Yem Pharmacy? Don't mind me, I live at Unilag area. He says it's an opportunity to test my capacity in managing a large workforce. Fantastic. And look at that. Yemi, just stop knuckle like that. Just stop knuckle. Look at, let me mention 2-3 keywords. Yemi is talking about 1, an opportunity. 2, a test. That is deep, which means an opportunity and a test can come together. When we talk about career advancement, it comes with opportunities and tests, opportunities and exams. God bless you, Yemi. You should be a motivational speaker. Now, Yemi also says, test his capacity in managing what? Enlarged workforce. Almost all of us here will remember the story of Jabez in the Bible. All the 66 people on this call. What did Jabez ask for? He said, enlarge my territory. So it's not every time he just say, give me more money. Yes, typically, enlarged territory will come with what? More money in the short, medium, or long term. Someone says here, human and workload management. Galaxy 31 says better to move on. Let me see. Onyekachi Jones says, I will move on. The experience is valuable. Fantastic. And Bazuaye says, I will have bigger and better experiences. Adedoyin says, I will accept the offer because of the manpower strength. The difference between 30 employees and 200 manpower will increase my experience in a wider capacity. Fantastic. Samuel says to further develop my problem-solving skills. Daniel says, the reason is the higher the problems, the many more opportunities I'll be able to attract. Oluyemi Oluleye says, it is better for experience. 1, 2, you will learn and manage more people. Gloria says, I will move to the larger workforce because there will be room for what? Please pay attention. The Holy Spirit is speaking through Gloria now. Please pay attention. She says, I will move to the larger workforce because 1, room for growth. 2, room for mistake. 3, room to learn. Gloria, please receive this e-hug. Receive this e-hug. Wow, this is deep, man. I hope somebody is taking notes. Let me read. Host, why did you mute me now? I'm your guy, oh, please. I apologize if I offended you in the past, current, or future. Let me say what Gloria said again. 3 key things. You know, I remember one of my pastors in Ibadan, Pastor Femi Emmanuel. He will say, write it down, quotable quote. You too, quotable quote, write it down. Okay? 1, 3 reasons why Gloria will move to the bigger workforce for the same amount of salary. 1, room for growth. 2, room for mistake. 3, room to learn. Never forget, as part of your career advancement, making mistake is part of it too. Okay, so let me just flip through. So what I will do now, I apologize if I don't read your points, but I'll just see if I see any other unique perspective. Okay, fantastic. I think I've covered everything. Let me move on to the next slide. So let's quickly, I'm using this framework to teach you, to guide you, order your thoughts so that you can be well grounded. Okay, now we are still using this A methodology. Now look at know-how. Don't forget that there were 3 things: know-how, problem solving, and accountability. Now for know-how, there are 3 things in know-how. What are the 3 things? 1, technique and experience. Technique and experience. Technique and experience. 2, managerial know-how. In other words, leadership, managing resources. 3, very critical, human relation skills. So human relation skills talks about person-to-person skills actively needed to meet the requirement of a position. Managerial know-how is talking about integrating and harmonizing diversified functions to meet what required position. Technique and experience talks about depth and breadth. My people, please pay attention. Oh, please pay attention. This will change your life. It will change your career. Okay. Depth. You can see my hand. I'm gesticulating intentionally. Depth and breadth. Some people have depth, they don't have breadth. Some people have breadth, they don't have depth. Write it down in your journal. Do you have depth and breadth. It's not either or, it is depth and breadth. So in your field today, as you are aspiring for career advancement, do you have the combination of the required depth and what? Breadth of knowledge. That's know-how. Now, let's go to problem solving. Problem solving has two areas. One is the thinking environment, and the other is the thinking challenge. In other words, the nature and the scope of the problems to be solved. And when we talk about the nature and the scope of the problems to be solved, we are talking about from operational to strategic level. As you grow in your career, as you advance in your career, you will grow from operation to tactic. Even though I'm aware that in reality, some roles you have depth and the breadth will be even more full. When we talk about thinking challenge, we are talking about the degree of complexity of the problems. Now look at this. You will move from what? Routine to innovative. You will move from processes to creating and designing new processes. You know, anything a process can handle, it's already what? A routine. When a new problem arises, you will need to come up maybe during or immediately after with a new process. Are we together? Are you having fun? We are talking about problem solving. And problem solving has to do with what? Thinking. Career advancement has to do with what? Thinking. The last but not the least, which is the framework I'm using to anchor today's conversation. I just hope I'm not loading you too much. I want you guys, you know, in street language, I want you guys to blow in your career. I want you guys to experience, like my pastor would say, a quantum leap in your career. You see, you're not just going to experience a quantum result. You will experience a quantum change in habits, a quantum change in how you do your job. There will be a quantum improvement in the quality of your work that will translate to a quantum change in your remuneration, in your promotion, in your career. Okay? Accountability. There are three key things when we talk about accountability. One, freedom to act. The degree of personal and procedural control and guidance. Two, magnitude. Magnitude. And what does magnitude say? What financial measurement is impacted upon? What financial measurement is impacted upon? Three, job impact on what? End result. End result. In other words, the degree of contribution to business results. I'm sort of examples right now, but imagine anytime you are doing an assignment, let's say your job, you are onboarding a new staff. As you are doing that onboarding, you'll be thinking about what is the impact of this onboarding on what? Profitability, on revenue, on you know, on loss reduction. Are we together? Accountability, freedom to act, magnitude, job impact on end results. When you are sending an email to a customer, you are thinking about the end result. When you are submitting a proposal to your line manager, you are thinking about your end result. And as you are thinking about it, you are also reflecting it in your what? In your actions. In your actions. Let me just take a breather here. Let's do a short exercise. What have you learned so far? Drop it in the chat box. What have you learned? And don't, you know, there are things that I've said that you know before. Don't say that one. I mean what you, that sincerely. It's okay if you didn't learn anything. It's okay. If you have learned something today or some things, just in bullet point, drop it in the chat box. What have you learned? Or what would you do differently? So far, we've done 50 beautiful minutes in this call. What have you learned? Don't repeat what you already knew. Fantastic. Let me also check the chat box. Oh, Okpemipo, I like that. Oh, okay, I like that. Let's keep that coming. To the leaders in the house, please. I don't want to be disrespectful. I know we have bundles of talent here. Who would like to say something for like 5 or 10 minutes? Anybody in the house? I want to give you the floor for like 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe you had planned to say something before, or as I was speaking, something came to your mind you want to share with us here. Anybody, please. Brother Taiwo, would you like to say something, sir? Brother Taiwo joined us all the way from South Africa. Bro Wale, would you like to say something? I'm appealing. I want somebody to take a session for 5-10 minutes. You can freestyle, don't worry. And it's also open to anybody on this call, please. I can give you 5-10 minutes. So while we wait for that.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go on. You have the floor, sir. You have the floor.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Something I want to contribute is actually some of what we're reading in my group. It's what Stephen Covey talks about: knowledge, skill, and motivation. And he was saying that the knowledge of your job is what you're doing and why you are doing it. You know, sometimes we do things we do at work, but we don't know why we're doing it. If you don't understand the why of your job, you might just be unserious about it. If the cleaner doesn't understand why he's there to clean, he might just handle it with all levity. Therefore, one question you can ask is, why am I the administrator? Why am I, whatever role I'm playing, why am I in that role? What are you supposed to do? The knowledge of what you're doing and the why of your job. The second thing is about skills. Skill is the know-how. Do you know the how of your job? And you can find that Oluyemi used one framework this night, and one thing that you will find consultants use a lot is frameworks. Do you know the frameworks that is applicable to your job? And the last one is desire. Do you have the desire for, some people have the knowledge, they have the know-how, but they don't just have the desire. So in advancing your career, you must have the knowledge, the what and the why. You must have the skill, which is the how, and you must have the desire, which is the motivation to do that work. It is in that motivation that you do it. In fact, people are saying, are they paying this person more than everybody? He's always there. He's on time. He responds, very enthusiastic about the work. So he has the motivation. He has the desire to complete the task. In advancing your career, these three things are very, very important. And if you adopt them, improve on them, they will give you what has been repeated on this call, which is the quantum leap for your career. Thank you for allowing me this few minutes.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Very, very insightful. Now,
can I just say something?
Oh, by all means, please proceed, sir. God bless you, sir. Bro Taiwo, please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for joining this evening. It's been a wonderful time. So what I would just like to say is, in life, we need to do constant evaluation of what we're doing. Whatever job you do, whatever you're involved in, do a constant evaluation. Do I still want to continue? So ask yourself, in the next 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, will you be happy doing the same thing you're doing? Do an evaluation. Will you get tired of it, or do you want to do something totally new? And that, I think last year, during the last semester, one of the things that came to us, like, it's never too late to start a new profession, a new career or something. It all depends on you when you're done with your evaluation. And I'll give an example. Like you said, talking about skills and talent. I learned AutoCAD way back in 1998. We are the earlier starters of AutoCAD, but now there are newer softwares and there are new boys in town who can use right now new things. If you cannot compete with the new boys in town, with new guys and new talents, get something to give you an edge. Otherwise, you will be left behind at some point in time. In terms of never too late to start, I'll give an example of somebody I know, my father-in-law. He's a lecturer. He lectured at ABU. And I think when he was 50 years plus, that was when he went to study law. Today he's over 75 or 78, he's still practicing law. So it's good for you to do an evaluation. What are you doing now? Do you enjoy what you're doing? Do you want to learn something? It's never too late to go back to school, get another career, get another certification. Such things will help you. But always give yourself an edge. Whatever happens, like you was talking about at the start, if they need 1,000, what are you doing that nobody can do? That's what will give you an edge in life. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Any other contributions? Any other contributions?
Good evening, sir.
Please go ahead. Go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me, sir.
Loud and clear, Daniel. Loud and clear, sir.
Okay. I kind of observe that more often than not, most times, I'm sorry, but of course I know we're all HR pros, so I'll be.
We are not all HR. We are not all HR, sir.
Oh,
it's a combination. Right. But there are many HR on the call anyway.
Okay, so I'm so sorry about that, but I know we are professionals, so of course, definitely. So I'll be as transparent as possible. Okay, so most of the times when people start working, of course, definitely growth is very, very essential. And everyone desires growth. Everybody wants to grow in the career ladder. But I realize that not everybody is able to identify the exact thing they need to do in growing on the career ladder. Now, what do I mean? A lot of time, people do not self-develop themselves. They don't challenge themselves. And one of my mentors said something. He said, promotion is your organization realizing that we have placed this person on a lower cadre and he's been way beyond where we have placed him. So we need to place him where he ought to be. I don't know if you get that. So I will take it again. Promotion is an organization understanding that this person has brought so much value into this company, he has contributed so much more, and we need to place him rightly. And there are things that we as, of course, employees can do. Okay, like I attended a webinar some time ago, and one of the major concerns for business owners are business growth. And then it's like, okay, they're saying most times HR professionals do not really care about the business growth, and then they are always about employees, so to say. So I was trying to strike a balance. I think the thing is, it should be that there is a concession. Of course, definitely employees care about their own welfare. Oh, my boss does not really care about me. That's more like their own point of view. But then the boss is there, or I think the business owner is there thinking of, oh, how will revenue come in? How will I be able to pay these staffs? So the thing is, if everybody as an employee can have this entrepreneurial mindset, to engage with an entrepreneurial mindset, to have the basic financial and business acumen, then of course we can all place ourselves on that cadre for growth. Okay, so that's one. And then the second thing I wanted to say was just this afternoon, I was kind of meditating. And then I realized that, so to be honest, most time when I see some profiles, of course, I'm just starting my career. I'm just 3 years into working professionally now. So, but then the kind of experience I've had staying with uncles and aunties has actually influenced me to. So I always love the career thing, the professional thing. So I just thank God that I'm getting it right from as fast as possible that I should. Okay. So back to what I was saying. When I was checking through some LinkedIn profiles, I see a lot of titles and everything. And of course, it's good. Showcase yourself, drive your visibility. But how many people, just like you said, and those like the other two commenters said, how many people are able to really understand their job? Like, do you really grasp? Because, okay, take for example, I was telling somebody, okay, you are applying for a business development officer or executive. Do you really understand what business development is? So I needed to give him some insight into understanding what it entails so that you're able to write a CV that is in tandem with the role and not just bring out some things to just say, okay, you have to understand. So what I'm just trying to say is, I think as HR professionals, sometimes we can take up the task of putting every employee through to understanding that this is the exact thing your job entails. And of course, if you're able to do more, of course, we want you to bring more value so that you don't don't put things together and there's no head or tail to what you're actually supposed to do. Right. So thank you so much. That's my contribution.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Some people are actually struggling to hear you, but thank you for those insightful contributions, and you have also provided some excellent recap. Thank you for your point, Daniel. So let me take it from here, but also do me a favor, Daniel. In like 2 or 3 bullet points, the things you just said now, in like 2 or 3 bullet points, type it in the chat box, just for the benefit of people who for one reason or the other couldn't hear you. Just articulate it in the chat box. Okay, good. So a set of right attitude is superior to a set of skills or circumstance. Now, this quote is a quote, it's not a quote, even though I've written it as a quote, is my experience, is my reality, both from my professional, my career, and the lives of other people. What do I mean? I've seen instances where someone will work in an organization that they will say, oh, in this organization, they don't promote here. And that person will be promoted against all odds. Why? They did not let the spirit of despondency that is in that organization, in that unit, in that department, they didn't let it fall on them. Why? They brought a different attitude. Are we together? Now, when it comes to career advancement, perhaps beyond all the hard technical skills, your attitude is critical. When you have, in quotes, a nasty manager, choose to see that person not as nasty. Rather than be marking time that they will soon change this manager, they will soon change this manager, you should be also saying, under this manager's regime, I achieved social certification, I achieved social competency, I mastered social skills and knowledge. Okay? It's very, very important. Now, this is also very critical. No matter what you do, no matter where you are, you must have this consciousness that you are working for yourself. It doesn't matter how much they pay you, how little they pay you. You must have this mentality that you work for yourself. In Yoruba, there's an adage that says, Ogata, Ogauta, Owalaru Akpe. That should not be your mantra, which means irrespective of the sales proceed of the master or the business owner, that the guy who helps to load and offload will collect his full money. That cannot be your attitude towards work. Forget whether they are treating you right or wrong. You need to work with the right attitude. You will get recompensed, either in that same space or in that same industry, or somehow. God will always what? Bless you back. One thing I've noticed in the course of my career is that at every point in time, there is always somebody who is watching you, who has the capacity to either recommend you for another job elsewhere or for a promotion elsewhere. I will say that again. At every single point in time, there is always somebody who is watching you, who has the capacity to recommend you for a promotion or for a bigger opportunity. Let me shock you. Some of the time, that person may not be a senior person. Now, and this brings me to the next point. Please, for you to experience career advancement, please do away with eye service. Do you know the problem with eye service? When you do eye service, it means you have identified a few set of people who can bless you. Let me give you an example now. This is our community group, for example, of the Covenant Nation, which is the platform, which is the auspices under which this program is taking place. Now, my governor, I have two governors, okay? Bro Taiwo is my governor. Ima Clark, she's my governor. The last time I checked, Ima Clark is not on this call. But I have to work as if she's on this call, whether Bro Taiwo is here or not. Do you understand? Now, if I'm doing eye service, when I see Bro Taiwo, there is a way I will prepare. But let me shock you. Yes, I agree. And Bro Taiwo, if God is laying it in your heart, do it. He can recommend me for a blessing. But do you know that a gatesman, a cleaner, the people that you sometimes think are unconnected, do you know that they can be so connected? You won't believe it. So that is why don't do eye service. You must be what? Consistently diligent. Operate as if you are working what? For yourself. Anytime I do anything around career advancement, I typically throw this in. I'm sure Bro Wale will be tired of it by now, but he shouldn't be. He to understand the importance of this. You see, Bill Gates, I read his book, Doing Business at the Speed of Thought. I bought that book in the year 2003 for 5,000 naira. I can never forget. 5,000 naira in 2003. One of the many things I picked from that book is this quote. And it says that the purpose of education, irrespective of course of study, is to increase your capacity to 1, think, 2, analyze, 3, provide solutions to problems. 3 key things: capacity to think, capacity to analyze, capacity to provide solutions. Quickly, the job you are doing right now that you want to advance from, are you thinking or you are on autopilot? I hope you know there's a difference between thinking and when you're on autopilot. In other words, when you're on autopilot, you don't even need to process anything. You can close your eyes and do it. You can close your eyes and do it. Please, no matter how familiar with you are with your job, with your role, please avoid that urge to enter autopilot. Bring your thinking cap to the table. Let me add this, even though they don't put it in your job description, even though they didn't put it on your offer letter, one of the line items, in fact, the first line item in any assignment, in any job is think. Write it down. Think. I am employed for this job to think. I'm the marketing manager to think. I'm the supervisor to think. 2, I am employed to analyze. What is the data available within your space, within your job? What data do you gather? What data? What information? Thank God, I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody in 30 cents. Every information can be worthless if you don't analyze it. Your customer information, analyze it. Your client information, analyze it. And it doesn't matter whether your customer or client are internal or external. For HR people, even if you are taking attendance, don't leave it as attendance. That's attendance, analyze it. Why are they coming late? Why are they coming early? Lastly, when you think and you analyze, always provide solutions. Never go to your line manager or your management with a problem. Go with the problem, but with also what? Solutions. Even if for one reason or the other, they will not take your solution, they will note it that what? You came prepared. And that also shows that what? You are preparing for career advancement. One of the things that will also help you to advance in your career is discipline. Take it or not. If you are indisciplined, advancement may be far from that person. Who is better to teach us about discipline than one of the most successful drug pushers in the world? He's late now. His name is Pablo Escobar. He's one of the top 5 dead drug pushers in the world. He's from Colombia or Ecuador, if I'm not mistaken, either Colombia or Ecuador. He said something I will never forget in my life. Please write this down. Pablo Escobar said, a drug pusher that takes drug will soon come down. Please, who can explain in the chat box? Please, in your work, explain. Why do you think this successful drug pusher, Pablo Escobar, Pablo, the son of Escobar, said a drug pusher that takes drug will soon come down? Explain, please, in 2-3 sentences. He's saying that if you must be successful as a drug pusher, you must not be taking the drug. Please, drop it in the chat box. Let's see. You see, you can learn from anybody, including a drug pusher. And today, the drug pusher is teaching us about how prominent. So in other words, you can be working in a brewery, but you don't drink. You can be working where they are doing malts or where they are doing sugary drinks, and it's free to staff, but you don't take it. A drug pusher that takes drug will soon come down. I'm not seeing any comment, though. Guys, 65 great people, please, in 1 or 2 sentences, explain your perspective to this, please. Why will a drug pusher, somebody who sells drugs, somebody who is notorious for drug, why will he say this? That a drug pusher that takes drug will soon come down. Why? Oh, Samuel. Oh, chop knuckle, chop knuckle. Samuel says something here. He said that the interference of the drug on his ability to make informed decisions. Wow. If the drug pusher is taking drug, he won't be able to what? Think. He won't be able to analyze. In other words, even though it is drugs, drug is a business. I know it's an illegal business, you understand. But it's a what? Oh, Galaxy 31 said the drug will destroy him. Oluyemi says the drug pusher, Olufemi says it means he will lose his mind. He will lose his mind and continue sales pitching and needs to stay focused. In other words, the drug will cause him to what? To lose his mind. Oh God, you guys, you are spitting fire. You are spitting fire. I think I saw something. I missed. Just give me 2 seconds. Fantastic. Adeola said you are not supposed to eat what you are selling because you won't know when you will eat both the profit and revenue. Adeola, you are too much. You are too much. You are not supposed to eat what you are selling because you won't know when you will eat the profit and revenue. Oh God. Oluyemi said the drug pusher might not make great choices. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me see. Debbie is saying something here. Debbie says there's also a possibility of addiction to the drugs, thereby consuming what you should take sales on. Okay. I hope with these few words of these great people, you have been able to know that it is important. Esther too is contributing to the conversation. She said taking it will make him irresponsible and unable to take informed what? Decision. Fantastic. So you see, you will need more discipline. Now, in conclusion on this point, let me tell you why you will need more discipline. The truth is, as you grow in your career, you will have more responsibility. Or let me put this, you will have more accountability. Okay, but you will still have the same 24 hours. So it takes discipline to know when to let off social media, when to let off Facebook, when to let off soccer and focus on the job. You will have more responsibility in less time. So it's only with discipline that you can do this. Okay, so this is the general career life stages, and we have different people across the life stages in this group. Now, you may not exactly fall into a category. We have what we call early boomers and late boomers, but these are just general classification. Okay, from 21 to 26, all things being equal, you know, that should be establishment stage. By 26 to 40, that is what? Advancement stage. By 40 to 60, that is maintenance, maturing stage. And then from 60 and above, you know, they will say you should what? Retire. But the truth is, you can stretch any of these stages. You can become established by 21 or 22. You don't need to wait for 26. You can advance by 30, and you continue to what? To advance and to also what? Grow. Okay. Now, some of the skills that we need, and this is according to the World Economic Forum, is publicly available information. Okay. Oh, Yewande, God bless you. Please, I need to read what Yewande dropped for us here. Yewande said, a drug pusher's work is to deliver service. And taking the drug wouldn't make him provide quality service. Hey, deep, deep, deep. A drug pusher's work is to deliver service, and taking the drug wouldn't make him provide quality. Oh God. Oh God. In other words, even drug push herself is looking for career advancement. So let's look at 2020. Even though there's 2022 now, I missed it, I could have put it there. But look at the top 10 skills. Are you looking for career advancement? Do you have these 10 skills? Now, because this is a hard talk, I'm not saying do you have 5 of it. I mean, do you have all the 10? Not anyone you don't have. In the next 12 weeks, develop a plan to have it. Let me just run through it. Some of them, you'll see that we've been repeating it. Complex problem solving, very important. Critical thinking, very important. Creativity. Why do you need creativity? Your resources will not always be enough. With creativity, you will surmount the problem. People management. It doesn't matter whether you do HR or you know the HR. If you don't know how to manage people, your results will what? Will be limited. People management includes managing your report, managing your peers, managing your line manager, managing your management. You need it. 5, coordinating with others. There will be people you need to work together with. You may not have authority over them. How are you able to coordinate with others? 6, very critical, emotional intelligence. Not every time you go to para, your guy gave you a low rating during the appraisal. You are now keeping malice for 6 months. You are not looking at career advancement. Or they change your role or your designation. You are paraing. No. Para for 20 seconds and then move on. Leave it to God. God will what? Vindicate you. 7, judgment and decision making. Judgment is you are able to look at facts and figures and you are able to make a right call. Making that right call and following that right call, that's what decision making. 8, service orientation. This is a little close to customer service. Service, whether internal customer, external service. So you must be able to do it with positive joy, with positive what? Attitude. 9, negotiation. Everything on the job is negotiating. Even your leave, you have to negotiate it. Time off, you have to negotiate it. You need more resources on your job, you have to negotiate it. You need more salary, you need to negotiate it. You want to expand your job, you need to what? Negotiate it. Every conversation at the workplace, whether you are conscious of it, is what? Negotiation. Last but not the least, number 10 is what? Cognitive flexibility. Don't be afraid, in case you've not had it before, it's not a big grammar. Cognitive flexibility means, cognitive means intelligence. It means flexible intelligence. You know, some people, they are so knowledgeable, their know-how is too much. They can't change their mind. You can be intelligent and be rigid. Don't be intelligent and rigid. So we don't only want you to be what? Intelligent. We want you to also be flexible about it. Maybe the facts change. Maybe the perspective change. Maybe the context change. Okay, we can do that. So let me custom to the last part of today's presentation. We are within time. After this session, I assure you that your career levels will change. Now, when we talk about career advancement, the first thing I would like to say among other things is what? Alignment. The first question we say, are you even in the right career to start with? It doesn't matter whether you are 20, 30, or 40. If you are not in the right career, and you will know, I'm not saying that other people are telling you that you are in the wrong career. I mean, you, in your heart of hearts, you know. The first thing you need to do is what? Try and gravitate towards that path that is best suited for you as soon as possible. Alignment, please, is important. There are some jobs, if I do it, I'll be frustrated. And there are some jobs I will flourish. That's my first point. This may be for only 5 people on this call or 10 people, but please, don't say because you have spent 15 years on the wrong call. If there's opportunity, you will grow and blossom faster in your path. Don't let me say more than that. The next point is goal setting, which we have already alluded to today. You see, I and Bro Wale can be in the same career. We may be equally talented, but if Bro Wale is setting better goals than me, Bro Wale will get better results. And there's nothing wrong with that. So one of the, for those of us on this program, 12 weeks mentorship program, and for all of us who join this call one way or the other, I want to challenge you. What is your career goal for? Do you have a 50-year career goal, 30-year career goal, 20-year career goal? If you don't have one, have. Two, if you have, I want you to go back to those goals and change it. That goal you set is too small. Go and double it, triple it, quadruple it. Don't, somebody just say, I just want to become HOD. No. There's somebody calling Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She no get 2 heads. I'll say that again. There's somebody called Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She no get 2 heads. Forget her background, forget everything. You can do better. So look at your goal, because the truth is career advancement responds to goal setting. The more powerful your goal setting is, the better for you. Especially those of us in the mentorship group, very soon we'll do something around goal setting, career setting, and the likes, okay? Please pay attention to that. The third thing I would like to say quickly is, what is your level of awareness? What is your level of awareness? You see, some people are in the midst of an opportunity and they don't know it. They are right in the midst of plenty and they are trying to move away from that plenty. Now, let me quickly share a story here on this awareness to drive my point home. Please pay attention. I'll be very fast with this story. So I met a guy about, I think 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So when I met the guy, he was looking for a job. According to him, he had never done any job in his life. Please pay attention to this story. So I now sat with him. I said, what do you mean? He said he doesn't have any work experience. And I told him, I said, I'm serious. I, Oluyemi Adeosun, I have never met anybody in my life that doesn't have work experience. The man said, he has not worked anywhere before now. He doesn't have any experience. I said, are you serious? You don't have any experience? Okay, let me get to know you better. So what does your father do? He said his father is a teacher. I said, okay, what does your mother do? He said, my mom is a petty trader. She runs a provision store. Now, on this screen now, would you see provisions as the picture? Now, it is this story I'm telling you. That is why I put these provisions on the picture. It's intentional, okay? And I said, sorry, your mommy manages a provision store. Is it that you don't help your mommy at all? She said, that every day when he was in secondary school, he will move from the secondary school to the provision store and they will close at night together. I said, okay, what of when you were in the university? He said, any weekend he comes home or any holiday that he used to stay in the provision store and help his mom. I now looked at the CV again. No work experience. Do you know what now dawned on me? His problem is not that he doesn't have work experience. His problem is that he's not aware. People, leaders, potential leaders, my question to you is, what do you have in your going for you in your career right now that you are not aware of? Is it that you have leadership opportunities, but you are not aware of it? Just because his mom didn't give him an offer letter. I say, bros, do you know the skills and competencies you have picked on this provision store? I know some people on this call can bear me witness. If you manage provision store in Lagos, you will know how to do debt recovery. Your neighbors will buy on credit. You will know record keeping. You will know a bit about merchandising. You will know that there are some items you have to put them in some places for their sale to gain traction. I say, look, let me shock you. In this provision store, in this small provision store, you have interface with Promasidor. You have interface with Cadbury. You have interface with Dangote. You have interface with Coca-Cola. You have interface with Nigerian beauties. You have, please, who else do you think he has interface with? I'm talking about awareness. If you get this illustration, I can close this service. Permit me to call it a service. In the provision store, you are multitasking. You are talking to 3 customers at the same time, both the old one and the first timer. In that provision store, you must know your reorder level, stock taking. You must know how to manage your warehouse. When you don't have a particular product and a customer wants to buy, they don't burn you well, make you talk say you no get. You will say it's in the store. You will go out and go to your competitor, buy it and come and resell in that same provision store. and somebody ask the F country, in fact, I'm angry as I'm talking to you right now to tell me he doesn't have experience. Oh God, you are too much. In that same provision store, the guy has interface with Dufu Prima, Honeywell, Flour Mills. He now ended it with ETC. In other words, all the major conglomerates are in your provision store, and you are telling me you don't have experience. Please, awareness is key. And that takes me to the next level, which is what? Recognition. Look, for many of us right now on this call, God does not necessarily need to do more things for us. All he needs to do is for our eyes to open and see what he has already done. We'll be shocked. The next point is what? Interrelationship. Now, let me explain this too in another short story, very short stories. Okay, I hope if you forget this class, you won't forget the stories. Now, I met somebody that did, I think, botany, yes, botany. And she wanted to go for an interview with a bank. She had done their tests, this assessment, she passed. So she was now going for an interview. She now asked me that, sir, if they ask me that I read botany, there's no correlation between botany and banking, what can I tell them? I looked at her. I said, I don't understand. What do you mean that there's no correlation between botany and banking? Look, if you will advance in your career, you will know that there's correlation between everything. Somebody needs to write this statement down. If you will advance in your career, you will know that there is correlation between everything at the workplace. Now, I told her, I said, let me just give you one correlation. Tell them that when you are studying botany, you have to learn the names of every plant and every animal, as complex as it is. That when you join the bank, that is the same level of detail you will pay to every client, and you will give every client that kind of attention. You'll be able to get them to do more business with the bank. Bros, sis, I never give you correlation. She was like, wow. And something like that came up during the interview, and she said something along those lines. They were marvelous. They said, what? You are able to link what? Botany with banking. That is interrelationship. Anytime you are going for a promotion interview, anytime you are going for a new job opportunity, anytime you're having a conversation with a line manager, please, interrelationship. The assignment on the table, how does it tie to your bottom line? How does it tie to making more money? How does it tie to reducing costs? How does it tie to improving the turnaround time? Am I making sense? Interrelationship. Context, very key. When your guy is asking you a question, he's not asking you that question blatantly or in a bland fashion. What is the context? What were you guys talking about before he asked the question? Put it into consideration into answering the question. What is the main subject matter? Context. Context. Lastly, but not the least, documentation. Very, very key in advancing your career. Your CV is a document. Your LinkedIn profile is a document. Are they updated? Okay, so let me just show you different things. I'm closing now. We're rounding up now. I hope so far we've gotten significant value. Okay. I hope so far we've gotten significant value. Let me see if Mr. Wale is still on the call. I'd like him to share his story about the benefit of reading job vacancies. Hello, bro Wale, are you still on the call? I'd like him to, if he's still on this call, to share on the benefit. So while I'm trying to search for him, and if you can hear me, just unmute yourself and speak, sir. You see, I know some people, because they are not looking for job, they never look at job adverts. And that is a what? Is a big mistake. Do you know why you should always look at job vacancies? Not because you are looking for job. Job vacancies, in it, we have what we call the job specifications and requirements. Those requirements should help you to know whether what you know is sufficient. Now, don't forget that no matter what you do, no matter where you are doing it, that organization where you are doing what you do is not all in all. Okay, so when you are seeing job vacancies of the kind of, for your role or the roles you are aspiring for, and then you review the requirements. If you have the full requirement, fine. If you don't have the full requirement, no cause for alarm. What don't you have? Then come up with a 3-month plan to bridge the gap. Come up with a 6-month plan to bridge the gap. For example, they may ask that knowledge of certain framework is a requirement. You may not necessarily need to pay money. Just go to Google, go to YouTube, go and read up those frameworks. Okay? It is very, very important. Whether you are looking for a job or not. Very, very important. Let me share one tiny story on this. Okay? This is a very tiny story. And this story is about me. So I came out with a 2-2, second class lower. I call it 2-2 goalless draw in the university. And that was my fault. I didn't have ambitions of getting a 2-1 or first class. I didn't have proper goal setting back then. So I just felt 2-2 was good. By the time I came out of university, and I saw that 2-2 was a bad result. Why? Many vacancies, you just see 2-1 and above, 2-1 and above. From time to time, you see some vacancies, they will say 2-2. Some will not even specify. Now, something happened that turned around my perspective to education. 1 or 2 people on this call know what I'm about to say. 1 or 2 people will be surprised. Whatever, please just learn from it. So I was in Taraba, in Jalingo to be precise, that fateful year. So in Jalingo, we used to get Tuesday guardian on Thursday. Then we will get Thursday guardian like maybe Monday. Do you understand what I mean? Because Jalingo is so far to Lagos, Tuesday guardian. Does anybody know what Tuesday guardian means? Okay, for the people who are not initiated, back in the days, we used to look for a job in Tuesday guardian and Thursday guardian. Please, if I have a witness in the house, just say yes or something in the chat box. If you either got a job or an interview through Tuesday and Thursday guardian. Please, I just want to know that I'm not the oldest person on this call. Okay, so I used to, that on the Thursday, when we now have access to Tuesday, we're already 2 days behind schedule, Joe. The people in Lagos, they don't apply for the job. We are just seeing it. I now saw that job vacancy. Mobile producing, to be precise. Oh, thank you, people. Thank you, people. I now saw that vacancy. Mobile producing. God. I go Ama, oil and gas. This is a dream come true. Guess so they wrote like 12 courses. They put sciences and social sciences, numeric. Now, when you talk about, so they wrote courses like economics, statistics, electrical engineering, and so on and so forth. I say, praise God, praise Master Jesus. I scaled the first order. I did economics, my course is there. The second point, I just saw 2-1. Hey, I said this 2-2 has caught up with me. These village people that came through this 2-2. But thank God for perseverance and persistence. My spirit just said I should keep reading. The next line, guess what I saw? I just saw 2-2 with a master's can apply. Hey, it was as if my eyes opened. Guess what? If I'm not mistaken, during that service year, I applied for 2 master's forms. So those of you who know me and you see that I'm always reading, I just told you my secret today. I don't like book, I just don't like poverty. Even though Bro Wale will say it's a lie, I like book. I don't like book, I just don't like poverty. So my face come clear, say, what? The opportunity I missed by not getting a 2-1. So I can top up this my 2-2 by getting a master's. So for those of you who know, you now know why I have 2 master's degree. Because something told me that tomorrow they will say 2-2 with 2 masters. Do you now know why I'm doing my PhD? They will say 2-2 with a PhD. In other words, I hope I'm inspiring somebody today. It doesn't matter whatever mistakes you made in the past, what you don't have. The question is, what can you do to augment? There is always something you can do to augment. There is always something. Maybe you went to the polytechnic, you face some discrimination. Don't be angry. there are some conversion courses you can do, maybe Oxford Books or something, maybe a professional exam, ICANN, CIPN, SPHRI, GPHR. Don't complain. Forget the discrimination. What can you do to augment? Are we together? Don't be fixated on what you don't have. The next question is, what can you have? And there are many routes. Is it practitioner's route? If you can't do exam, okay, just do something. Do something. Do something. So you can see different things on the screen. I just put them there. So for example, let me also speak to, I won't obviously mention everything because of time. Let's also talk about professional association. When you are in a professional association, there are levels. Now, I have a feeling that quite a number of people on this call are Christians. And even if you are not a Christian, you can relate to this example. You see, there's a difference between being a church member and a church worker. I'll say that again. There is a difference between being a church member and a church worker. Now, let me go back to your professional association. You see, there are two types of people in professional association. The passive members, who probably only pay dues, some don't even pay, and then the active members. Who are the active members? The active members are the church workers. They are the one that maybe if they meet every quarter, they attend the meeting. When they say they want to do magazine in the professional and they need people to write articles, they will volunteer. When they are doing annual, what do you call that thing? Annual party. Not only will they attend the annual party, they will become an usher in that annual party. They won't let pride take over. In other words, when you are active in these groups, you are like a church worker that has certain visibility more than a church member. You see, you will see as you grow in that your profession, as you aspire for career advancement, say, not be everything that they put for Tuesday and Thursday. Some things they will just call you. Oluyemi, there's this job. Are you interested? Are you available? When you say yes, they will say, okay, bring your CV. When you bring your CV, when you go for the interview, you will be the only one there. I'm not talking about interview that you will go. You'll be like 40 people in the waiting room.
Okay.
Code dead.
You didn't complete it now.
Code dead. Bro Wale, would you like to say something? Hello, Bro Wale. Hello, Bro Wale, would you like to say something? Okay, so code dead opportunities. I know some of you will say, the politics there is too much. No, don't do dirty. But that's why one of the points I have on this screen is you have to be politically intelligent. Avoid gossip. When they are talking bad about anybody, no put mouth, no put mouth, no put mouth, no join them, talk bad about anybody in the workplace. Are we together? Don't put mouth at all. Now, I put something here too. This may not work for everybody. So everything I'm saying is not for everybody in all contexts. That's why I taught you context management. Sometimes too, some people, they stay too long in the same organization. Some people like this, everybody. If you don't understand what I'm saying, don't misunderstand it. Some people, you stay so long there, they no longer value you. Some people, after 4 or 5 years, they move. And if you are moving, move intelligently. Move intelligently. Weigh the context, weigh the option. Don't move from fry pan to fire. Okay? So you must be able to what? Strike a balance. Strike a balance. Okay? Let me see if I can make any more points here. I think I can stop here. I think I can stop here. Let's just throw up. If you have any questions, any feedback, any contributions, and I'm talking to everybody on the call now. You want to share a story, your experience, this is it. Yes, we are closing 9 on the dot. So we have the remaining 20 minutes for Q&A, contributions, whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to say. So let me stop sharing my screen. I hope so far we've been able to add some value. Thank you to the over 70-something people that joined this call. We do not take this for granted. So you can drop your comments and you can also unmute and make your comments, please. And if you have a specific question, don't be shy. You can either private chat me with your question or put it on the chat group. If I can't answer it, we have elder statesmen here who will read it. Contributions, questions, any hard question, I will answer it. We will answer it. I'm listening or I'm with you. Or anything you want me to provide more elaboration on, I'm with you. Maybe you are in a challenge right now, you want us to brainstorm, I'm with you. You can also recap what you have learned so far, it's also allowed, or what you are going to do differently from today or from tomorrow. Thank you, Ogo, for your feedback. Thank you, Olufemi, for your feedback. So let me talk a little about certification. Now, I am very pro certification. Let me be upfront. I like certifications. And I know quite a number of people who are pro certifications. But let me make this clear. I don't do certifications for certification's sake. I do certification to extract the wisdom, the knowledge, the body of knowledge, the framework from it. So please, while I encourage you, if there are relevant certifications in your career or the area you are aiming for, please, beyond reading and passing the exam, get the tangible value. Okay, it's not just the certificates. Yes, we will share the recording across all platforms. I will give it to all the leaders. So even if I'm not the leader in your platform, don't worry. I'll share with your leaders and I will share it on the platform I belong to. We recorded it because we know some people will miss it unintentionally. Maybe they are in transit or they are at work or the timing. We also have members from other countries on this program. Okay, so it's very good when you do the certification, beyond passing the certification and having it and putting big title like me behind your name, the knowledge, you must have it. Okay, Opeyemi is asking a question. Let me see. Mr. Wale, will you help us with this question? I hope I'm not putting you on the spot and I hope you are not in transit. So Opeyemi here says, thanks for the great coaching, sir. In a situation where I believe that there is need for career change, like from IT to education, I already have a BSc and an MSc in computer science. How do I switch and also pursue a degree? Thank you. So your question is very easy, Opeyemi. You don't even need to do a degree. There is something they call postgraduate diploma, PGD in education. It's maybe 1 year or 18 months. I can't remember, but it can't be longer than 18 months. And it can be 1 year in some schools. So depending on the city where you live, if you're in Lagos, for example, Unilag does it, LASU does it. And if you're in any other city in Nigeria, once they have a university, they do a PGD. So you don't need to go and do a first degree in education. Then it also depends on the type of education you are interested in. So, for example, I know a woman, she's a lawyer, a learned colleague, and she went to do some professional courses on Montessori education. Today, she runs a private school. She has been running that school for like 10 years now, and she handles only toddlers, age 1 to 5. She doesn't handle older children. Why? She specialized in what? Early education. And I like this kind of example because some people, they want to switch from education to IT. So your career doesn't have to be, for lack of a better word, it doesn't have to be fanciful from the perspective of other people. I remember my daughter, her first teacher, worked with GT Bank for 8 years. After 8 years, she resigned voluntarily from GT Bank, learned Montessori education, and then came to become a teacher. So I was not engaging with her. They used to do this open day where parents and teachers get to interact about the progress of their ward. And so they introduced her and her background. I was shocked. I'm like, you were this high in GT Bank when you left? Wow. You know, I was trying to like, is it that she couldn't meet her target? Was she frustrated? She said no. That even though she was doing well on her job because she was diligent, she realized that she was only happy once in a week. I said, once in a week, what do you mean? She said, yes, that she was only happy on Sunday. I'm like, seriously? What about Sunday? Is it that you go to church? She said, well, not exactly. But in church on Sunday, she used to be in the children's church, managing children. And after she was almost entering into depression, that's why she found out about how she could go back into education. And she told her husband, she got the cooperation of her husband and her family. She said, why should I be happy only once in a week when I can be happy Monday to Friday and then be happy on Sunday again? Today, she's happy. And funny enough, at the end of the day, because of the quality and at the level of excellence she's operating in education, she's not poor either, because that is one of the things that made her to be stuck with GT. She was thinking that once I go to teaching, I must be poor. Not necessarily. Okay, if an area is your area, you will flourish there. Forget it, you will flourish there. Okay, Adeola is saying here that thank you for this exposition. How can you please take it again? How to move from labor to talent? So there are multiple factors which we have mentioned. Let me just mention a few things. How you can move from labor to talent. The first thing is you recognize that currently I'm labor. I need to become talent. Now, how do you become talent? In your career, in your field of expertise, ask yourself some questions. What are the most difficult areas in this field? 1. 2, what areas in this your field are other people avoiding or running away from? Maybe because it's mentally tasking. Go to that area. Develop knowledge. Read up. Go to YouTube. You go to Udemy, udemy.com, all these learning platforms. Study and research. Identify a coach or a mentor in that area. So you can say every day, 1 hour, you'll be studying. Bro Wale, please, you have the floor. Please contribute to any of the questions so far. We are rounding up. We have 30 more minutes, everyone.
Okay. So the question on how you can move from labor to talent. So if I can use data to explain it. Earlier, I shared that we have 80 million in the labor market. And out of that 80 million, about 35 million are talent. So you can do the maths and see the gap between the two. Now, if you already have a job, you are at a better level of talent. Now, to the question directly, how do I move from, if I'm still considering myself as a laborer today and I'm working? Go to Google, just put your job on Google. Type maybe, what job, I don't know. Any job you are just type the job there. How many jobs did you find that, how many return did you get? If your job is that simple to come by, it means that there are a lot of people, like Brother Yemi said earlier, there are a lot of people that are available in that space. Now, for every job, for every field, you will find that there are areas that people don't like to go to. Those areas, they term them as difficult or, whatever they used to describe them, but they are not common areas. That can be an area you want to stand out in. Just to share an example from my own career. So when I started writing in IT and started writing my certifications, I wrote CCNA. That was in 2006 or 7, maybe 7. So I wrote CCNA, and I said I want to do something that people are not doing. The usual path, most people that I've seen will go to CCNP, which is Cisco Certified Network Professional. And I said, this looks common. What other area? Then I saw security, CCSP, and I took the part of security. today, they are not much. So at that time, people told me, you won't find job. So how can you be going to security when it is not common? But it is that uncommon path. Once an area is common, it is already an open field for people. Those uncommon areas are the things that will come out in 5 years, 10 years. And with your career, it is not really about today. It is what is going to be relevant tomorrow. Therefore, that field that is not, people are not common there, you probably will be the first, if you look at it, look at those areas and go and sharpen your skills in that area. Like I said, go to Google, type your job in Google. If you cannot find them return to you, it means that you are already in a unique area. And therefore, in that area, what are the technical areas of that area that you need to focus on? And you go and dig, like Oluyemi said earlier, go deeper in that area and go wider in that area. That is how you can stand out amongst many other people. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Somebody to ask a question that's around that, which particular job or role or function cannot be outsourced or cannot be easily outsourced. Let me be frank with you. There is almost nothing that cannot be outsourced. Or let me put it this way. In every job today, there are components of every job today that can be outsourced. I hope you get that. There are components of every job today that can be outsourced. So what you need to do is that you need to pay attention. You need to pay attention to the most difficult parts of your job or the parts that can be least outsourced. Do you understand? And develop your competencies there. So let me give you some examples. Today I quoted the World Economic Forum Top 10 2020 skills. Because you want your core people to be there, okay? You want your core people to be there. You don't want external people to handle it. So when you're in an organization, what is the core business of that organization? If you can transit to functions within that core business, that is if you like that organization that much, transit. Two, if what you do, it is also core to some organizations, you may move to an organization where your services are core to, because outsourcing in itself is not bad. Okay, outsourcing in itself is not bad. But the important thing is which organization you are. If you can be a core staff rather than support staff, transit to that place. Wale, please go on with your comments, please. We have 7 more minutes. Go ahead with your comments, sir.
All right. So I advise in career, sometimes you want to even join an organization and you want to know whether your work is core in that area. If you are a doctor, the core areas you will work in is probably hospital. That's where your core skill is a core requirement of that job. If you're an accountant and you work in a hospital, your job is not core. So that kind of job can be outsourced. But if you're an accountant and you work in a consulting firm that is providing accounting services, your job is core. So there are ways you can look at it. Do you want to work in places where your primary career is the reason for the business? So when organizations are starting business, they are starting business in a particular area. For instance, a bank, their core function is banking. So if you are a marketer, if you are in that area, your core function is marketing, but that marketing has to be very close to the core function of that organization. So assess your work today, whatever you are doing. In the organization I'm working in today, what is the reason that they start that business? Identify it. Now, what is my role playing in that organization relative to what they start that business with? If you are a doctor and you work in an hospital cannot exist without a doctor. But if you're an accountant and the hospital is not making money, hospital can decide to outsource accounting services or tell the lawyer, the doctor, and say, go and learn accounting. So identify your organization, identify whether your job is a core function in that job. If it is not, then it means that you need to make yourself very relevant so that the person that is carrying out their core function cannot do without you. Get close to the core activity of the organization. Place yourself where you will be needed in that organization so that if they are thinking about even outsourcing, they will think twice because they know that you have fixed yourself. You know, when you become like a very, people that build software, there's this thing that they do about version. You know, they install a small part of it, and after some time, they tell you to come and buy. No, that is how you need to go and plug your skill in your organization. And once you find out that my job is not really a core function in this area, then look for organization that really, really depend on your skill. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm showing my contacts right now. Feel free to reach out to me. You can connect with me. You can chat me up via WhatsApp. I may not respond to you instantaneously, but I will respond in due course. You can also reach out to your leader in your respective team. Reach out to your leader. They'll be able to provide support and insights. Thank you so much. I hope you have gotten value. Again, this program is put together under the auspices of the Covenant Nation. And this is our community group, our outreach program, where we are helping church and non-church, Christian and non-Christians together alike in their career. We will be having more of this kind of programs. It will be facilitated by internal and external resources. Please, when you see our adverts, please feel free to join us. In addition to that, feel free to also share it in others within your network so that more and more people can get value at no cost. Well, in some cost, you paid for your data, you also paid for time. We appreciate you most sincerely. I'd like to thank everybody who joined this call. I'd like to thank Sister Mary. Thank you so much. Bro Wale Maikaya, thank you so much. Please, if you are a team leader, you manage any group here, please just say hello to us, please. I thank my governor too, who came. I think he might have left now. I thank you. Oh, he's still on the call. Bro Taiwo, would you like to give your closing remarks? We have 3 more minutes. Bro Taiwo, if you are still with us, 3 more minutes. Thank you, Chibuzo. Thank you, Oge. Thank you, Okweyemi. Thank you, Abiodun. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Damilare. Thank you, Wele. I'm just randomly calling names that I'm seeing. Thank you, Francisca. Thank you, Folake. Bro Taiwo, are you still there? We still have 2 minutes for closing prayer.
Thank you very much. Okay, Father, we thank you. Lord, we worship you. We give you praise and adoration. We thank you for this session. We just had for advancing our career. Father, we thank you, oh God, for the things we've read. Father, we thank you for your life over us. And we pray, God, that this particular session will make us to think and be able to make better decisions concerning our careers. We thank you, oh Lord. We give you praise. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Thank you, everyone, for coming. So we can continue the conversations in our various group. Go to your group, what you learned, share it in the group so that other people too can learn. Thank you so much. Please get some rest. Maximize this weekend. I am proud of everyone. I pray that God will meet each and everyone at a point of our needs. God bless you. Good evening and enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
All the days of my life I praise you. Everything that I have now you gave to me, Baba. Lord, I say for your love I'm grateful. Yes, you love me plenty, you came to die for me. Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Nissi, I am that I am. Ooh, oh, you search around, there's no one else like you. Lion of Judah, you're the man, the man, the man. Gonna give him a victory. Gonna give him a victory. He has given me victory. Hallelujah. 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 Come and see what the Lord has done for me. He has taken away my sorrows and now I'm free. I got me, hallelujah, bro. I got my hallelujah, power. Because of Jesus, every day that I got out it. Double, heavenly blessings, now him and they receive. Ah, yeah. God, in your grace and mercy is always the part of me. Yeah. He has given me victory. God has given me victory. He has given me victory. Hallelujah. 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 If Jesus has given you victory, come let's dance, let's give him praises now. If Jesus has given you victory, come let's dance, let's give him praises now. Because of Jesus, every day I shall get it. Double, heavenly blessings, now him and they receive. Ah, yeah. God, in your grace and mercy is always the Father. Yeah, yeah. He has given me victory. Oh, Lord, the Lord has given me victory. He has given me victory. Hallelujah. 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 Because of Jesus, every day I shall around it. Double, heavenly blessings that he might receive. Ah, yeah. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. Hey, we need a miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. That is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You wipe away all tears. You mend the broken heart. You're the answer to it all. Jesus. You wipe away all tears. You mend the broken heart. You're the answer to it all, to it all. Jesus. Yeah. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every life. I worship you. Oh, shadadabakasa. I worship you. You are here, meeting every need. I worship you. I worship you. Oh,